Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to today's social studies lesson. We're going to be talking about Hispanic heritage again today. So our standard is comparing those languages, traditions, and holidays of various cultures. So kind of branching away from the maps and geographic features, but we're still kind of talking about that a little bit. We talked about that yesterday when we went over details about Mexico and culture and traditions of the Mexican people. Today, we're going to be talking about someone else who is part of Hispanic heritage, and that is Pablo Picasso. So he was a famous painter. So we're kind of bridging two subjects together. We're going to bridge social studies and art together. So you're going to be learning how to draw something today, just like Pablo Picasso did. So we're going to watch a quick video about Pablo Picasso, and then I'll show you what to do for your seesaw activity. Okay. Alrighty.
Almost done. There, I finished. I know it doesn't look exactly like a guitar. I was inspired by this painting by Pablo Picasso. Who was Pablo Picasso? Pablo Picasso was born in 1881 in Malaga, Spain. When Pablo was growing up, he loved to draw and paint. This was one of his first paintings, which he created when he was 9 years old. Pablo went to art schools and spent time studying art in museums. He finished this painting of his sister when he was 15 years old. Later, Picasso started experimenting with colors and shapes and explored collage. Right, Moby. Picasso's art changed over time. A period is a length or span of time. People separate Picasso's works into different periods or spans of time. What was Picasso's blue period like? In 1901, a close friend of Picasso's died. Picasso started painting in shades of blue and gray to communicate his feelings. The subjects of his paintings often look sad or upset. Some are struggling and living on the streets. A theme is an idea or message that is explored in an artwork or a piece of writing. Picasso explored the theme of blindness in a few of his works. They communicate emptiness and sadness and show how Picasso felt about the loss of his friend. Then, Picasso started exploring different themes and colors. What was Picasso's rose period like? Picasso began using brighter colors, such as reds, oranges, and pinks. He painted actors in bright clothing, and acrobats, jugglers, and other circus performers. A harlequin is a performer who is often silly and wears a costume with a diamond pattern. The harlequin appears in many of Picasso's works throughout his life. His works from the Rose period are more cheerful and energetic than those from the Blue period. What was Picasso's Cubist period like? Picasso started experimenting in his work. He looked at objects from different angles or points of view. He used his imagination to break them down into shapes. He showed the objects in a totally different way. You can still tell the painting shows a guitar and violin because there are similarities to the real objects. Picasso began exploring this new style of painting, which is now called Cubism. He looked at people, places, and things in a new way. He used different colors to get his ideas across. Performers and musical instruments continued to be subjects of his paintings. This painting shows musicians with masks. In 1937, a Spanish town called Guernica was attacked and bombed. Picasso created a painting that showed the violence of war and the loss of lives. The dark colors help communicate the suffering that comes from war. The painting of Guernica traveled the world and raised awareness about what was happening in Spain. Picasso's style kept changing over time. He continued to experiment and try different techniques. I love exploring Picasso's paintings because they're so different from each other. Pablo Picasso died in 1973. His works inspired artists around the world and still do so today. You finished a painting inspired by Picasso? Great self-portrait, Moby.
Alrighty. So what we're going to be talking about in Seesaw today is your Seesaw activity is going to be you drawing, I'll let it load, you drawing a dinosaur using shapes. So Pablo Picasso often used shapes in his work. And remember, art often can show you how you feel. So maybe while you're drawing your dinosaur by using shapes, you could add the colors based off how you feel. So remember, like blues, grays, blacks were kind of for sadness, or more lively colors like greens, yellows, reds were for happiness. So think about those colors that kind of Picasso used, especially during his blue period and his rose period, and you could use those on your dinosaur based on how you're feeling today. So I have a video here to show you. Whenever you go onto Seesaw, you'll see this video on page 1. You're going to click on this and you're going to watch the video about how to draw a dinosaur. Then on page 2, you can either take a picture, so you can either do it on a sheet of paper and then take a picture of your work and upload it directly onto the template, or what you can do is you can use your Seesaw tools. So remember, there's this really nifty, looking at these 3 dots down here, there's this really nifty shapes tool. So you can click on the shapes and you could use different shapes to make your dinosaur. So thinking about that, you could use this as well, or you can always practice drawing your shapes. So I'm just doing like a quick idea of something you could do for by using different shapes, just kind of like Pablo Picasso did. Different ideas of how to use shapes. I would probably make these different colors just so that you could see what shapes you used, but you could use this for different shapes. You could also always do it on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and upload it onto the template. That is all I have for you today, boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining me. I had a blast. I'll see you next time. Bye.